Hey friends. So today, and for much of the last 12 to 18 hours since my last video post, probably not quite 24 hours, I have been reflecting a bit on the post I did yesterday and the kind of events of that post. And something showed up for me. It actually showed up in the middle of the night because I was lying awake thinking about the event that I discussed yesterday. And if you didn't happen to catch yesterday's post, I had an experience yesterday where I received some feedback in the form of criticism that I felt was kind of unhelpfully framed. It came at me in a way where I was a little bit taken aback, and I felt a little bit not so much violated, but a bit sideswiped by it. I wasn't expecting it, and I felt like the environment in which it arrived, it felt like it surprised me that this environment would have resulted in this kind of feedback. And so I was kind of sitting with that, and I talked yesterday about the experience of receiving that, and and the two choices that we then have, which are, one, blame the person who's giving us the feedback and take the approach that, well, they shouldn't have given me that feedback or whatever, or try and find the helpful aspects of that feedback. Let it arrive, even if it doesn't mean we have to necessarily receive all of it or take it all as being true, but try to receive it as a gift and as something that is potentially helpful. So I discussed that on yesterday's post, and that is something that I felt like I relatively successfully did in the moment. But then it continued to eat at me, and I had the experience of replaying it and then doing what my mind loves to do, which is launch a series of dramatic monologues in response to this person or the circumstances, and kind of basically, it's almost like I set up a judge and jury, and I'm in my mind, there's this courtroom, and I am the oh so eloquent attorney making my case, and I couldn't let it go. I lay awake. It was keeping me from falling asleep last night, and I was like, okay, so clearly I haven't fully digested this. I haven't fully accepted it. I want to let it go. Let it go. Let it go. I just want to go to sleep, for Christ's sake. Let it go. That wasn't working. So then I asked the question. I backed up a minute. I was like, okay, I've been lying here for a couple hours. Letting it go is not working. Let me ask a different question. Let me ask the question, if I assume, whether I believe it to be true or not, whether I can feel the reality of this or not, if I assume that I invited this experience into my life for a reason, what would that reason be? Let's assume that I wanted this to happen on some deep unconscious psychic level. I need this experience for my growth, and I have invited it into my life. What potential reasons could there be for my having created this experience? And immediately, there was an answer that said, because my inner child feels vulnerable to this kind of criticism and this type of approach to giving me criticism. And there's a part of me that feels vulnerable and at the mercy of this and unable to defend myself. But I am not my inner child anymore. I'm a grown man. And I now actually can mount a defense of my inner child. I actually can assert my own right to be where I am, my right to be who I am, to offer myself in an open-hearted way, which is the circumstances surrounding the feedback that I got. Offer myself in an open-hearted way and do my best. And be if not acknowledged, certainly respected and given allowed to have the integrity that I have in the place that I am. That's something that my inner child, for whatever reason, doesn't feel or didn't feel, and there's a part of me that still has that. And by attracting this experience into my life, I'm making this unconscious thing conscious. It's incredibly uncomfortable to be there, but it's not unconscious anymore. I can't pretend like it's not there when it's flaring up in my face. And it gives me the opportunity, as the grown man, to actually defend my inner child and assert the needs and the integrity of that part of myself, and potentially heal that feeling of being defenseless against this type of kind of invasive criticism. And I was like, whoa, that's big. And then I was able to fall asleep. After that experience, it was like, okay, now I know why I'm here. Now I know all this rehearsing in my head is what I'm doing because it's like the actually soft part of me that feels undefended, that feels unfairly attacked or critiqued, actually wants an opportunity to tell me that that's how it feels, that's how my inner child feels. That needs to happen. I need an event. My inner child is in there going, I need an event to show you how I feel. So I invite that event into my life. The event happens. Bam. The voice gets heard, and now I have the opportunity to do for my inner child what was not done for it whenever this formative experience happened. And I did start to have a kind of a cascade of memories and previous experiences where it's possible that this sense of kind of vulnerability or pain comes from. I can't say definitively that this is what it's from, but certainly it opened a door into, oh yes, this is what it's tying into my. It tethered me. It connected me to an access in my past that makes sense of my feelings right now. And the other beautiful thing that happens is that it's because I believe I may have to say something. I believe I may have to address this in the outer world, not in the courtroom of my own mind, but in the actual world with the actual, people involved. But whenever I do that, it happens in a much less vitriolic and angry way. It happens in the form of having a sense of integrity that I'm and boundaries that I'm obliged to defend, and that I'm obliged to delineate and to create healthy rapport around that. The amazing thing is in this equation where I've conjured this experience into my life for the purpose of being able to feel this part of myself and go to take some potential action to heal this. The person who gave me the criticism is my ally. They're actually performing a massive service to me by giving me this experience. And there was an odd way in which I think this is why I was able to finally fall asleep, where it turned from I need to defend myself against this into, oh, I have the opportunity to heal something by defending integrity, sure, by potentially declaring my own kind of right to my own integrity, but it's not against this other person. It's actually, the other person has actually provided me with the opportunity. And that changes the whole timbre of my response. It changes the whole feeling around what I need to do and what I want to say. And it puts me in a place where I have the experience of gratitude to them for providing this, for being the vessel that delivered the thing I needed. So then I was able to sleep. Then I was like, okay, I think, because that's why let it go wasn't working. It wasn't about letting it go. I actually needed to acknowledge what I was feeling in response. It was the response of my conscious mind to this, what felt like a violation in my subconscious that needed to be taken account of and made sense of, so that it has, and it's a vital part of the picture. The fact that my inner child went undefended, and that it's manifesting a situation where it is hoping to change that experience, hoping to create a new context where it is defended. It's a level of like psychic genius that can only really happen subconsciously. This is us. This is the universe giving us the next step in our own evolution. And when I finally clocked all that, when I finally got that, that's when I was able to relax, because it takes me out of conflict with the circumstances, and all of my conscious mind's response is affirmed while being reframed, not as a tit for tat kind of like, well, you hurt me, so I'm going to hurt you back, but as a vital and important response, because a certain amount of defending our integrity and defending our boundaries and asserting our needs is necessary for health. My health, the other person's health, the health of the community, the health of the culture. It changes it from being, I'm going to get you back for making me feel bad, and turns it into, I'm being called upon to assert a certain level of responsibility for my own well-being, and for creating a culture in which that's how we respect every individual's well-being. So yeah, that's where I got to with this, and it was a big step past where I was yesterday when I did my post. So I wanted to bring that out and kind of unpack it a little and share it. So that's what I got today, folks. Love you. Thank you. Here we go. 501. Still at it. I'm so honored to be on this journey with you. All the love in the world. I'll see you tomorrow.